Hey guys, in the prior video I talked about a thumbs forward pistol grip. If you missed that one, I'll provide a link somewhere around here so you can check that out. In this one, I'm going to give you some tips, some tricks that have to deal with pressures of the thumbs forward grip and my pinky trick, which you may really like or you may really hate, but I haven't heard anyone else talk about it. It works really, really well for me. Let's talk about keeping the gun nice and flat to prevent and mitigate muzzle flip when we're shooting very, very quickly. Okay, when I grip a pistol, right here, when I grip a pistol and we shoot, the muzzle flip's trying to flip up. The way to really keep that down, some people think, is to Hulk smash, grip that pistol as hard as you can, but really the grip doesn't keep the pistol flattened down. All it does is keep your hand on the gun. I do this sometimes if I'll have somebody grip it real tight right here and I'm like, all right, you got it tight, and then I'll just push on their hand and it just flips it way up. Realizing really to keep it down, that's something here and here that keeps it down, which is going to be far more important to keep the pistol flat than a real strong grip. Furthermore, if you really, really tense into this grip, as I grip tightly here, I lose elasticity in this finger, which means I'm going to be slower and it's going to amount to jerk triggers, especially under stress. So the way to manage recoil is not by gripping it tighter. In fact, when I grip, also it leads to sympathetic contraction as I'm all tensed up here and I try to move this finger, and I wasn't doing that on purpose, but I try to move this finger and you see these fingers move as well, which is imparting movement to the gun during this. So really relaxing this hand almost toward it's a nice handshake. Hey, nice to meet you, gun. Just a nice kind of handshake, and this is pretty loose for me. This other hand is tighter, but really a lot of the pressure, again, doesn't come from squeezing it really tight. It is squeezed a little bit tighter, but really it's coming from leverage. Got it? So I'm already high up in on the frame of the gun for a low bore axis right here relative to my hand. I've pulled my hand tight against this back thumb as well, so I've kind of closed the back door where energy may escape and the gun will flip in to take the path of least resistance. I'll take my thumb now and push kind of down a little bit into the gun right there on the ledge, and that's what I like to do personally, and I've got a full part of my hand causing friction with the gun right here, right? So the next piece of what I'll do is, though I've got my wrist locked out so that the gun can't really flip my wrists up, it'll take the path of least resistance now, and it's going to try to flip up at the elbows, right? So that's where the energy will escape. So I'll close that door by rolling my elbows in so that they're facing each other. And sometimes I may even roll this hand a little bit more so it gives my gun just a little bit of a cant this way. That means bad trigger control, which would normally pull the gun down and left as a right-handed shooter. Now for it to do that, it's got to kind of come up and down first. So even when I have really crappy trigger control, with a really good grip, I can hide it like a big Band-Aid. And that's not okay to have bad trigger control with a good grip. Have good trigger control and a good grip, so if one fails, you're still good to go. So that's just basically kind of my orientation a little bit. And you may hate that, but it works pretty well for me, so I'm gonna stick with it. So anyway, my elbows are rolled inward and my shoulders are thrust forward just a little bit with my head thrust forward a little bit as well. And I'm kind of loose on the gun, but the leverage is where all that power gets in. So it's nice and loose, 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 and roll in and locked in. Good. And nice loose hand with a loose trigger. And that's what I'm doing. Last little bit of this, and this is I've never heard anyone else talk about this. I have seen some shooters will take their finger right here and latch on there so that they'll have something to pull against when they push into the frame of the gun. So you can kind of make a fulcrum point, something that gives you some leverage to pull in. If you put your finger right here when I grip, it'd crush your finger right here because of all the leverage. And part of it's the elbow coming in and camming in like that, but the other parts I'm pulling against something. This right here occludes the trigger guard enough so that when I'm pulling the trigger back, this finger bumps against this finger and stops it, and it works really well for some people, and I hate it. But what I do is I take this pinky and it just kind of slips in my initial grip right here, slips in right there. It doesn't slow me down at all. I'm very fast and able to get right in there with it every single time, and it allows my pinky something to latch onto and pull against so that I can cam in hard right here. Got it? So anyway, that helps me keep the gun real flat and my hands never move, And I really like it. It just feels really comfortable for me. So you may hate it and everybody may hate it, but it works pretty good for me. So hope you were helped. Guys, train hard, but train smart. See ya.